A new vision. Realism takes center stage. The world was changing. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing. Cities were growing. People were moving from the countryside to find work. It was a time of great upheaval and social change. In the midst of all this, a new art movement emerged: realism. From the 1840s to the 1870s, artists began to turn away from the idealized and romanticized subjects of the past. Instead, they wanted to depict the world around them as it truly was, warts and all. Realism was a reaction against Romanticism, which had dominated art for the previous few decades. Romanticists were interested in emotion, imagination, and the sublime. Realists, on the other hand, were more concerned with the everyday lives of ordinary people. Realism was more than just a style of painting, it was a way of seeing the world. Realist artists believed that art should be a reflection of life, not an escape from it. Capturing reality: key characteristics of realism. Imagine a painting. What do you see? Is it a beautiful landscape with mythical creatures? Or is it a group of farmers working in a field? Realist artists wanted to show the world as it truly was, without any embellishment. They painted everyday scenes such as people working, eating, and socializing. They also tackled difficult social issues such as poverty, inequality, and the plight of the working class. To achieve a sense of realism, artists used a muted palette of colors. They paid close attention to detail, striving to capture the world around them as accurately as possible. One of the most important aspects of realism was its focus on objectivity. Realist artists believed that art should be a window into the world, not a mirror of the artist's own feelings or beliefs. Masters of realism: Courbet and Millet. Two of the most important realist artists were Gustave Courbet and Jean-François Millet. These artists shared a commitment to depicting the lives of ordinary people with dignity and honesty. Courbet, a French painter, was a key figure in the realist movement. He shocked the art world with his large-scale paintings of everyday life, such as The Stonebreakers and A Burial at Ornans. These paintings were controversial because they depicted ordinary people and events in a grand manner that was traditionally reserved for historical or religious subjects. Millet, also French, was known for his paintings of rural life. He depicted peasants and farm laborers with a sense of empathy and respect that was rare at the time. His most famous work, The Gleaners, shows three peasant women gathering leftover grain from a field after the harvest. The painting is both beautiful and heartbreaking, capturing the dignity of these women despite their poverty. Realism's enduring legacy. Realism was a watershed moment in the history of art. It challenged the traditional hierarchies of art, elevating the everyday to a place of prominence. Realism paved the way for later art movements, such as Impressionism and Social Realism. These movements continued to explore the world around them with a critical eye, using art to shed light on social issues and injustices. Realism continues to resonate with us today because it reminds us of the power of art to capture the truth of our shared human experience. The next time you see a painting or sculpture, take a moment to consider the story it is telling. You might be surprised by what you discover.